We have a NewsNation exclusive to report tonight in the Hollywood murder trial we've been covering in the death of Amie Harwick. We've learned that comedian and Price is Right host Drew Carey, a former fiancé of Harwick's, has been subpoenaed in the defense to testify in the trial. Harwick died February 15th, 2020, after falling from her balcony in her bedroom to the pavement below. Her ex-boyfriend, Gareth Pursehouse, is accused of murdering her. Prosecutors say he broke into Harwick's home, waited for hours for her to return, and then strangled her and threw her off the balcony. But the defense claims Pursehouse was suicidal and that Harwick fell from the balcony by accident. Now, it is not known if Drew Carey will actually take the stand for the defense, but we do know he's on their witness list. It's a strange development, considering Mr. Carey and the murder victim were to be engaged to be married in 2018. Meanwhile, in court today, a woman who had dated Pursehouse testified that she saw him February 15th, just hours after Harwick died. But he never mentioned seeing Harwick to her. She said he seemed sad and distant and had bruises on his face.
There was a bruise under his eye and maybe some scratches.
Did you ask him about how he got this bruise on his eye?
I did.
And what was his response?
I believe he said he cut himself shaving.
Now, she was in the car with Pursehouse when police stopped them a short time later with guns drawn and arrested Pursehouse on murder charges. All right, so what could this subpoena for Drew Carey mean? Let's go back to our legal panel. Jesse Weber, NewsNation legal contributor, Mercedes Colwin, trial attorney. Why would you subpoena Drew Carey to testify in your trial if you're this guy, Mr. Pursehouse?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
It's a bit of a head scratcher since Drew Carey has been quite vocal that he thinks he did it. However, Drew Carey has also said that he believes Pursehouse is mentally ill. And if the defense is going to go forward with this theory that he was so depressed after losing this woman, but he would never kill her, he would never harm her, I'm wondering if they're going to use any portion of his testimony. We know Drew Carey had actually spoken to Amie 2 days before she died. Was there anything that they could say that he might have been crazy, he might have been obsessed with her, but he was never violent, we never hurt her?
Well, she had bumped into Pursehouse at a red carpet event. Pursehouse was a photographer and taking pictures, and apparently had quite an emotional reaction when he saw Amie Harwick on the red carpet.
Exactly, and it's funny, they had
and she might have told Drew Carey about, oh my God, this crazy guy.
Well, she had an order of protection that had lapsed 5 years before that fateful encounter. So I'm sure that Amie probably felt a little comfortable, even though she saw him and he looked a little odd to her. That's why she had called, just as Jesse said, that's why she had contacted Drew Carey. But I think it's a disaster for the defense to call Drew Carey. Don't make this into a circus.
Yeah.
Let's just try to defeat the collection of evidence, although there's a lot of evidence against him. There are bruises on Amie's body. Obviously, there's also ligature marks on her neck. It is particularly perilous for them to start making this trial into a circus.
All right, his defense has always been she fell off the balcony accidentally. Look, if she fell off the balcony running away from Drew Pursehouse, who broke into her house, who was scary and against whom she'd had a restraining order, is he still responsible for her murder? We
were talking about that there's a thing called felony murder, that if you commit a felony and someone dies as a result of it, you could be on the hook for murder. I think even more past that, the jury would have to accept that he broke in, that he attacked her, that he strangled her, but he didn't kill her. And that's a big ask for the jury to accept here after everything. I mean, I was a little surprised they admitted he was in the house. I thought they would fight it and say, well, what is the evidence he was actually at the crime scene? By putting him there and admitting he's there, they've really narrowed their options in terms of a defense.
The DNA was overwhelming. That's why they had to admit it. You have to cut those losses and not go in and say, hey, we just didn't know.
He left DNA in the house.
Exactly. So that's what was overwhelming, plus DNA, presumably on her body as well.
Oh, such a sad case. Really, really
And this resonates with me, as you know.
Yeah.
My sister died in a violent relationship, so this was really tough.
Oh, Mercedes, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks for your analysis tonight, Jesse. Good to have you here. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.